problems in his life. Cleanse thou me from what? Secret faults. Next verse. Beautiful. Hallelujah. But no, you missed it. Okay, I'll have to read it to you. Keep back thy servant, verse 13 of that same psalm says, keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright, and I shall be innocent of the great transgression. That's what the psalmist David prayed to God. And what he was praying for was those secret sins, those hidden sins, those under-the-ground sins, the things that we think we can hide from even God. And we let them go on in our life, and the next thing you know, these things that we do in secret, these presumptuous sins, we just presume it's not going to hurt us. Hey, they're just little foxes. They're cute. They're just wonderful little creatures, and they're so wonderful. We love these little foxes. And you can't help but look at a fox and just want to catch him and hold him, and boy, they'll bite you and give you disease and kill you and get rabies or whatever. It looks nice, but you don't play around with wild animals. You never know what will happen. It's definitely don't want to grab a hold of one, because they'll let you know right away they're a wild little fox, not a little fox. And no telling what could happen to you. I had a little boy in Africa where my daughter went to school for 1 year up in Kabbalah, and they caught a little squirrel, and they were just grabbed the little squirrel. He was playing with the squirrel, bit him. They thought nothing of it. About 3 or 4 days later, he started getting fever and started getting sick. And they're way up, and this is way, way up in the jungle. And so they had to travel 7 hours with the sick boy down a dirt road just to get to the main road, and then another 7 hours to get to the hospital. And on the way, he died. And so the dad had to sit in the back seat with the dead boy while they traveled to the hospital. There's nothing they could do. And they tested it was blood poisoning. Blood poisoning. They thought it was rabies, but it was blood poisoning that killed him. Very sad. They had to drive all the way back those 14 hours with the dad holding his dead son in the back of the vehicle. So sad. A little squirrel, little bite, wound, and took his life. I'm telling you, the little foxes can do a lot of damage. Little presumptuous sins, little secret sins, things that we can hide forever. Preachers can hide them. Yeah, preachers can hide them. And I've seen professors and people that I respected and looked up to, missionaries that we thought the world of my wife and I worked with a missionary. We thought the world of him. Went there, and our first 6 months in Africa was like hell on earth. He was such a hypocrite, and he did so much damage to our heart and our life. We could not believe it. We were so grateful to God the day he flew out of the country, got back to America. And when he got back to America, first thing he did, and I warned them in America, and thank God they backed us and started sending the money to us directly at Port Loco. And we didn't know what was going to happen. I said, this guy's not to be trusted. I don't know what's going on. Got back there and was very smart with them. Went out and started doing crusades, raised about $40,000 to buy a tent to do revivals, turned around and bought a semi-truck with it. Ran the country driving a semi-truck. Making money. Be very careful about little secret sins. Those little foxes, they can come in all different colors, all different ways, all different sizes. But I'm telling you, they will destroy the root system of your spiritual life. They'll attack you and get to you like you never thought it could ever happen. And don't ever presume. Keep back me, thy servant, from presumptuous sins. Don't just think, hey, it was going to get other people, but it won't get me. I can handle it. That's what my 19-year-old nephew told my mother. Just 3 days before he overdosed on heroin. Grandma, stop worrying about me. I can handle it. 3 days later, Jeff, he overdosed on heroin and died. And my mother almost died with him when he died. Precious little kid. He thought he could handle those foxes will lie to you. You think they're cute and pretty, man. They bite you. They can destroy. It only takes one bite, one little bite to destroy your life. And we only need little things to destroy our walk with Jesus Christ. Little things. I'm going to talk about big things. Nothing we're going to talk to is going to be big in the eyes of the world. But I'm telling you, they're big in the eyes of God. And He warns us in His Scripture over and over and over again. Beware of these little foxes. They're going to come to you in different ways. We're going to try to minister on the best way we know how so we can expose them. So you can be aware of them and realize these are things that we can't take for granted. We must deal with them. If we don't, I'm telling you, it can destroy us. So Jesus spoke of one of the most fundamental aspects of our Christian life. Something that we have to have before we have anything else in this root system that gives us the faith and the grounding that we must have if we're going to be fruitful in the kingdom of God and do His will. And we have to have this. And if we don't, and we let the little foxes come in and destroy it, I'm telling you, it's going to be terrible. And Jesus spoke of it in John chapter 14 and John chapter 15. He only had a few more hours to be free. He was going to be brought into captivity very soon. That night, they were going to take Him in and judge Him. And the next day, they were going to crucify Him on the cross. In these last 24 hours of His life, He gave His disciples some wonderful teaching as they came out of that upper room. And He'd been up there teaching them about the Holy Spirit and the promise of God in chapter 14. And it says there in verse 15 of chapter 14 of John, "If you love me, keep my commandments." If you love me, keep my commandments. And then he finishes up that chapter saying how much he loved the Father. He says, "But that the world may know that I love the Father, and as the Father gave me commandment, even so do I. Arise, let us go hence." He's on his way now to Gethsemane. He's on his way now to face the cross. And on the way, he opens up and he begins to talk to them about the true vine. You ever read about that? 1 John chapter 15. Turn there in your Bible. This is why I'm just going to give the introduction today, because I want Jessica to come back and James to come back next week. So I'm not coming back to that church. Duke made a comment about my sermon yesterday. He says, "You preach like that all the time?" And I just lied like a dog, man. I didn't know if it was good or bad when he was asking me. I said, "I don't know what you mean by that." He said, "Well, if you preach like that, man, I might just come." I kept it short. So I better keep it short. In fact, I better do this for my daughter-in-law. She'll not speak to me again. Oh, this would be bad. John chapter 15. Now, these are some of the last words of Jesus to His disciples. Some of the most intimate things He had to say were said in these last few chapters of John. And this is what He had to say. This is beautiful. In verse 17 verses of what I will read to you. He said, "I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman, the gardener, the keeper of the vine. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, He taketh away. And every branch that beareth fruit, He purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. Now are ye clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine, no more can ye, except ye abide in me." You see what he's getting at? It's the vine. Good to have you with us. That's Jessica's mom. That's what he's been. So happy to have you. It says, "I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit, for without me you can do nothing." So he's saying in the root system, I want you to know, I am the main branch that comes from the ground. I am the root system from this whole vine. And if you get separated from me by little foxes, you cannot bring forth fruit. I want you to get this. This is very important. "Herein is my Father glorified, that ye bear much fruit. So shall ye be my disciples. As the Father hath loved me, so have I loved you. Continue ye in my love. If keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love, even as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full. This is my commandment, that ye love one another, as I have loved you. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. And ye are my friends, if you do whatsoever I command you. Henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what the Lord doeth. But I have called you friends, for all things that I have heard of my Father I have made known unto you. Ye have not chosen me. Troy, he's speaking this to you and to you, Parker. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain. That whatsoever ye shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you. These things I command you, that ye love one another. Oh, yeah. What Jesus is saying, if you're going to keep attached to the roots of the whole vine, if you're going to keep attached to him, if he's going to be the source of your life, if he's going to be the one that helps you be fruitful and fulfill his purpose and plan that he has for you, you must stay attached to that root system. And there's only one way. Only one way. And I want you to get this. This is the key to it all. There's only one way you can keep attached to the root of Jesus Christ. There's only one way that we can be attached to the root of David that grew up out of that dry ground, the Bible says. There's only one way we can do it. And it's by one word. And that word is love. Amen. Love. Everyone say it. Love. He said, if you love me, you'll abide in me. If you love me, if you put me first in your life, if you keep my commandments, and prove that you love me, you'll never have to worry about the little foxes ever getting into your life. So the secret of this abiding in Christ and keeping our love relationship with him alive and well is the most precious secret you'll ever have poured into your heart. And you and everyone need to memorize John chapter 15. At least the first 17 verses. I memorized them years and years ago, and they've fed my soul many a time. And I've meditated them one nighttime and set them over in my heart and dwelt on them and realized that he is the true vine. And the Father is the husbandman, and how the Son and the Father work together to develop in our hearts a love for him. And we love him because he first loved us and gave himself on that cruel cross. I'm telling you, if you don't develop this love relationship with Jesus Christ, you're not going to have a heart that's going to be attached to God. The psalmist, actually Solomon said this in Proverbs 4:23, keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. And I don't know about you, but I've never seen my heart. Have you ever seen your heart? Anybody been to heart surgery and got a chance to look at it, whether it was pouring out? Anybody here? You haven't seen it on a camera. Now they can show a camera, they can show it moving, scare you to death, and thinking that how many times that beats every second. It's just a hidden part of your body, but how many know it's one of the most important parts of your body? It is hidden. And you know, it's very, very, it's a secret killer. Killed my 59-year-old sister. Dropped over dead, massive heart attack. Art, just yesterday. Perfect health, never had a heart problem, ever. Just worked every day. You never seen him, you look like the specimen of health. You don't know Art, I know Art well. And I get the phone call from his wife, and here she is. Thought it was a heart attack, and they thought he was just going to need a stent. Then they found out, as they did more research, that half of his heart is closed down. They don't know if he's going to live or die. And just a young fellow, it's just unbelievable. And this heart, man, it's important. I started getting high blood pressure here a couple years ago, and we'd see my wife's heart doctor, because she's always the one supposed to have problems. I'm never supposed to have problems. And her heart pressure's always been perfect. She's never had a problem with heart, not on heart medicine, nothing. But she always takes her blood pressure. I thought it's crazy. She never has high blood pressure. I never did either. I used to take mine years ago. I stopped taking it because it was always perfect. So she's got the meter there, and I thought I'll take mine. I took it. It's high. The low number was like 95. I called my mom. I said, I did it for a few days, and he just kept saying 90, 95, the low number. I said, whoa, 140, what's going on? I felt great. I just felt wonderful. Every once in a while I'd bend down, jump up too quick, get dizzy, but all of them, you get my age, that happens to you all the time. So I never thought nothing of it. But boy, all of a sudden, it started telling me what was going on with his heart. I went to see my doctor, and he said, buddy, you need to lose some weight. Your cholesterol is out of sight. Your triglycerides are out of sight. You're in bad shape, buddy. No, it wasn't quite that hard. He just looked at me and says, well, we got to do something here. I said, well, I don't want to go on cholesterol medicine. Just help me diet. I'm a diet. So I'll give you 3 months. Come back in 3 months. Went back in 3 months. He says, well, you tried. I lost like 7 or 8 pounds, maybe 10 pounds. He said, I want you to work on this more, but I want to put you on some cholesterol medicine and heart medicine. He got me on that right away to get this thing stabilized. And I kept going back. It's been 2 years. I just went back to him. I've lost about 20 pounds, a little over 20 pounds since he gave me the shocking news. Tried to eat a little bit better. No ice creams most of the time. No ice cream. And it's terrible though. My wife, every time we have a party, she buys a gallon of ice cream, and they eat like half of it, and the rest of it's back here in the freezer. I don't even go back. I'm afraid to walk back there. I'm afraid because it's like demons of hell coming out of that freezer. I know, and I don't even want to look at it. I love ice cream so much; it's horrible, and I've really done well all these years. Just break it off. But you know what? I know this thing is important. Amen. If I mess it up, all it takes is one heart attack. Just takes one mess up. And if you don't die, you're going to have a stroke. You're going to be an invalid the rest of your life. You're going to have to take care of you. That's why Solomon said, take care of the heart. Keep the heart. For out of it comes the issues of life. You don't believe it? I'm telling you. I'm not talking about the physical heart. I'm talking now about the spiritual heart. That hidden part of our life. The real us, who we are. What people see when you stand behind that pulpit and all of a sudden you light up and boom! That's your heart! That's the real joy! That's the heart speaking out of passion and desire to please God and fulfill His will. That's the heart. I love to see the heart of people begin to beat and begin to just spark and you say, wow, 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 it's exciting. I love it when Rose's heart is revealed to us as she stands and gives us her vision, her dreams and all. She talks to me sometimes 45 minutes to an hour on the phone. Papa, I gotta tell you this. I gotta tell you this. This is what the Lord's speaking to me. And I said, that's her heart. That's her heartbeat. I love that heartbeat. When it's a heartbeat for God. Amen. So we're going to be dealing with this love relationship next week. I'm going to title my message, Lukewarm Love. Amen. Lukewarm love. It's when our love begins to dissipate. Our love, when you first got saved, you first gave your heart to Jesus. Man, you get up the altar and wow, your life is so changed. You're ready to live for God, die for God, do whatever God wants you to do. And you're ready to do anything the Lord wants you to do. And it just doesn't take long until it wavers. I see it all the time as a pastor. Come to the altar, God helps them, all messed up. Their life is going to hell in a handbag. And just think that there's no hope for them. Jesus Christ comes to their life and oh, everything changes. They cry and it feels so good. And they leave. I'll see you next Sunday. I never see him. Never see him again. Never see him again. All these promises, all the help we give them, spend hours counseling, encouraging them, giving them Bible studies, trying to give them, never see them again. Never, never. Sometimes they come back for 2 or 3, maybe even a month, even 2 months. But the moment they refuse to deal with the little foxes, whatever they are, the moment they refuse to handle and chase after these little foxes and catch them and destroy them, don't tell, what is it, PETA? Yeah. Put them in a basket and take them far away from your house, from the vineyard. Say, kill them, but you better not do that. Get in a lot of trouble. They could close our church down if we said something like that. Nowadays, you've got to be careful. You kill a bird, you're getting in trouble. That's right. Very sad. I'll tell you what, I'll deal with little foxes if I have to. If they're destroying my crops. If it's a rabbit, a groundhog, look out, man. I got a 38. I got my son's 22 or his BB gun. I'm going to take care of him. And then the next squirrel that goes in that van and chooses wire, and I catch him. I don't know which one it is because there's like 5,000 of them out there. And the next one that does it, he's going to be dead. If I catch him. We got cameras on it now, so we're watching. But I think they come out at night to do it, so we miss it sometimes. That's why we put the cameras up. Did you know that? To catch the squirrels. They're eating the wires in the van. Second time it's happened. It's crazy. Joke about it, but I'm telling you, this is as serious as a heart attack. Well, we preached it one time years ago. It's as serious as a heart attack. And I want to talk about is taking care of the heart of love. Making sure we don't become lukewarm in our relationship with Jesus. And that we follow hard after Him and love Him. And don't neglect the things that keep that love relationship on fire. I've been serving the Lord 50 years. And there's only one way I've been able to do that. I've kept this heart. I've kept this heart aflame with God. And the little foxes, things will happen that will come against you. We're going to talk about that. Revelation chapter 3. About a church that started out glorious. Glorious. One of the most wonderful churches in the New Testament. And something happened. Like what happened with the church at Ephesus. And they lost their first love and became lukewarm. And God spewed them out of His mouth. God help us not to fall into that situation in our life. Amen. Father, take the words that we've spoken today, challenge our hearts to love You, to abide in You, to draw closer to You than we've ever been before, and not let anything keep us, Lord, from Your presence and our relationship with You, to love You because You first loved us. Gave Yourself for us on that cruel cross. Even when we were so unlovely, even when we were so wicked. Lord, You saw me on that floor of drunkenness. You saw my life messed up with whiskey and beer and, Lord, all the filth that I was involved in. As just a young boy. You saw me there, Lord, that night in vomit. You saw me there wasted because of the stupid trickery of foxes that were destroying my life. And You lifted me up and You changed my life, Lord. And I will never forget that day that You came into my heart and the love that You shed abroad in me for You. Lord, after 50 years, though the foxes have come left and right, and I have wavered from time to time in that devotion, Lord, after 50 years, I can say I love You more now than I've ever loved You. I understand You better. And I got a whole lot more loving to do and a whole lot more understanding to do. But until I see You face to face, God, my prayer is You'll never let my love for You grow lukewarm. May it ever be fervent. May, Lord, this church ever have a fervent love towards You. And not let any fox come in and destroy that love in our hearts. And I will praise You for that. In Jesus' name. In Jesus' name. Now, if you don't know Him,